Alright, so I was just guided back into my site with my window down just in case somebody hollered at me to stop. Now I'm going to hop out. I'm going to make sure that I'm close enough to my water and power, and I am. I'm going to make sure my slides will clear. I've got plenty of room for that to clear. Now I'm going to look at this one. Alright, so I've got plenty of room for this slide to clear too. And now I'll start setting up. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is set up power. So I'm going to come over to the power box. Check it out. I have a 30 amp site. I'm going to make sure everything is turned off before I plug my power cord in. I'm going to come over here. My cord and surge protector and a 50 amp adapter is in here as well. Alright, so I had to pull my power cord out because it wasn't wound up in there properly. So I'm going to take the end of my power cord and I'm going to feed it under here. This makes it where you can still shut and lock your door. Alright, so I fed my power cord through. I'm going to take it over to the power box. First I'm going to plug my surge protector in. And this is only a 30 amp site. Surge protector's in. And I'm going to plug my power in. There we go. Now if I had a 50 amp site, I would do this, then the surge protector, then the 30 amp cord. Alright, so we have all that done. Now I can turn the power on. And now we have power. I just heard it cut on over here. I'll lock my power box up and I'll start on the water. So we got our water hose over here. When I took it out. Be so kind when you're done with the hose if you could roll it back up and then attach these two pieces back together so you have nice clean drinking water and it's good for the next person. So I'm going to go over to the water faucet, and this hose already has a pressure reducer on it that we can't get off, so there's no need to add a pressure reducer. It's already there. Let the water run through so it's nice and clean water. Now that I ran the hose and it's clean, I'm going to take it over to the water connection for the RV, which is right here. I'm going to hook it to the city water connection. Make sure you read it, it's labeled. Do not do the top one. Make sure you do it on the city water connection. Alright, so that's plugged in. Alright, now that I've got the water hooked up, I'm going to come in here. And it needs to be on city fixtures. So it needs to be on 2, 6. That means that the water coming directly from the city connection is going into the RV and bypassing the holding tanks. You don't need to put any in the holding tanks right now. So if you wanted to put some in the holding tanks, if you needed it for traveling, you would need to do city fill tanks, which would be 1, 6. But for now, we're hooked up to a site. All we need is 2, 6. Now that I have everything done with the water, I can turn it on. And I've got water running straight through the faucet. Alright, now that we hooked up the water and the power, we're going to come in and do the slides. So here's for your first slide, which is the large slide when you walk in to your right. And you're going to hit extend till it goes all the way out. And this is to return it. Then slide 2 is the bed in the back. That's how you put it out. When you're done, this is how you return it. You don't need tank heaters. Now turn the water pump off, since I've got the city connection coming straight in. That's turned off. The LP gas is turned off. It's for the water heater. If you need your water heated up fast, you can turn it on for just a minute. It works really quick, but just remember you're using your propane down in the bottom. So I don't use that very often. Here's your electric water heater. I don't keep it on all the time because you're pulling a lot of amps. I only use it, turn it on maybe 10 or 15 minutes before a shower or dishes or anything you need hot water for. I don't need it right now, so I'm going to turn it off. Here's your generator. If you need to use the generator, you hold down the stop button and this primes it. Alright, so see, it popped up here, it's ready to go. Then you hit start. You have to hold it for just a minute and it's on. I'm going to turn it back off. Okay, so right now I'm on city fixtures. I'm on 2.6. I want to put some water in the tank so I'm able to flush the black tank well at the dump station and have a little bit in just to wash our hands and anything we need. So I'm going to change it to city fill, which is 1.6. The hose is already on, so I'm going to let it run for 2 or 3 minutes just to put a little bit of water in. It takes about 15 minutes to fill it all the way up, and there's an overflow. You'll see the water running underneath in the front, and it's not a lot, just watch out for it. After about 10 minutes, keep an eye out. Alright, so now that I put a little bit of water in it, I let it run for a good 3 minutes. I'm going to turn the hose off. And now I want to change it to normal. So I want to set it to 3.5, and that gives you access from the tank on the inside. So now I'm going to unhook the hose. Alright, so when we take this end off, we're going to make sure that it doesn't touch the ground, because if it does, it gets dirty. We want to keep it clean. So I'm going to coil it up and then enclose the ends together, and I'll show you in a minute. Alright, so now that I've coiled it up, I'm going to unhook it from here. This is not ours. That was a water filter. I didn't mean to take that off. I'm going to take them and I'm going to close them into each other to keep this clean for the next person. So, it's all nice and coiled, and I'm going to put it right back under here where it goes.